My name is Amarjit Kumar. I am having 7+ years of experience based on the Java. So currently I am working for the Java Spring Boot microservices as a backend, and also have a good exposures in front end as Angular. And coming for the database, I have good experience in Mongo and Oracle. I have also good experience in AWS cloud services. So most of the domain I worked, like banking, telecom, e-commerce, and health insurance. Currently, which I worked on the project as a health insurance. So there we have migrated these applications as a Java to a Spring Boot microservices architectures. So the application was related for the health, if users or any customers want to take any type of insurance, either health, car, and others, then he can go for the particular applications or website. There we'll have a multiple modules like initiate the orders. Once the orders will be go for the process, then they will check the conditions, and then after that process will happen through the payment. So that payment will check the particular amount is valid, or if users can get a particular limit of amount, then he will get some redemption. There's a promo offers, and after that there will be schedulers which will be schedule the customer to on daily basis. Users can get the ideas and notifications if the payment is pending or something like that. So we need to manage whole the process of health insurance related. And my role and responsibility on daily
Okay.
basis, like developing a API. So the API will be have a REST template API which will be communicate from one service to another services. And apart from this, also we have some synchronous and asynchronous communications. So for this we used asynchronous communication, either Kafka, and synchronous I used Kafka REST template and all. So apart from
Mm-hmm.
this, like also some of the times once the applications has been developed, then we need to do the deployment. So while going for the deployment in a Spring Boot related, so we have a AWS Cloud Console. So that AWS Cloud Console will have a uh, AWS Cloud Console will have a deployment process where we have to deploy it. So most of the AWS services I use, like SNS, SMS, EC2, Elastic Beanstalk, S3 Bucket, and uh, DynamoDB, and CloudWatch, so that we will process the data and see the all the status. So while going for the deployment, also we'll have a deployment process. So there will be some schedule call will be there. There we need to involve the time for the deployment. So while before deployment, we need to check all those process, like what are the status of the applications, like all the configurations file is proper or not for the production environment, all the logs and security validations has been enabled or not, and all the respective changes we need to verify before the production
Mm-hmm.
deployment. So that type of work I'm doing on daily
Oh,
basis.
okay. So you involved in API development, and did you involve in front end as well? Because you have mentioned as Angular, you're proficient in Angular.
Yes.
So and technologies, how good you are.
Front end, mostly I used Angular. While we need to communicate from back end to front end, they where we used Angular, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript based application.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you are full stack developer, right? You are fully confident in Angular and also in backend services as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How about SQL? Have you worked in SQL or only in MongoDB?
No, no. Currently, I'm working for the SQLs and Oracle. Some of the cases I worked on MongoDB also. So SQLs also I have a good experience.
Simple.
Uh, your voice is breaking.
Start with SQL queries
Mm-hmm.
first, some simple queries,
Yeah.
and then we'll have some brief discussion in Java collections and some basic things reporting and all of them. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I'll pin you the table name, sample table name.
Mm-hmm.
Consider I have two tables, employee and department. I'm pinging you in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are the two tables.
Mm-hmm.
So in employee, I have employee ID, employee name,
Mm-hmm.
all the personal information, whatever salary, and also I'll be having department ID. I'm pinging in chat. If you want, you can refer it.
Yeah.
So in department, I have department ID
Mm-hmm.
and department name.
Okay.
So these are the two tables I have.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
I want department ID, department name,
Mm-hmm.
then what else? All the employee name, salary, whatever. But as of now, I'm putting as employee name, employee ID. These four fields I need. So can you write the query for it to get these four fields from these two
Yeah, yeah.
tables?
If you want a particular field, then you have to mention select and the field name, and that will be join query here. So select the field
Mm,
name, like and form where the
mm,
form the table name. So that table name is employee and department. So that you have to mention employee
mm,
E1 comma department
mm,
D1,
mm,
and then where conditions, like what type of conditions you want to follow, either employee conditions or department conditions or both conditions. So the whatever the reference you have generated E1 or D1, so based on that we have to mention through the where clause.
okay. So that where clause alone can you ping? I'm fine with that select query. Select you said all the list of fields from table name, alias name said.
Mhm.
So where clause alone you ping?
Where clause, what is the conditions here?
I need all these four fields only. I don't have any other particular criteria.
Okay, if you want only four field, then no need of where clause. Only select field name and the
Mm-hmm.
table name. That's it.
Are you sure? Because we are getting the values from both these tables, no? Simply without the where clause.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
In that where clause, we have a primary key. So that primary key and
mm,
other table will have a foreign key for the primary key. So,
mm,
so first table is a primary key, and say department table will have a foreign key of employee table primary key. So based on that, we will
mm.
compare.
Okay, fine. So, assume like I need to get the department ID
Mm-hmm.
and sum of salary
Mm-hmm.
from with respect to each and every department. I need to get two columns. I'm pinging you here. Department ID,
Mm-hmm.
comma, sum of salary with respect to each and every department.
Yeah, that
This
also
what
possible.
would what?
Yeah, so you have
Mm,
to mention select
so,
department ID, sum of
mm,
salary, and form
mm,
the table name employee and department D,
mm,
uh,
mm.
where salary group by department.
Group by department, fine. Where salary you said that is? I'm not getting it. Why you are saying where salary here? I need to get all the department salaries, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that where class correct really?
Just select these things. Some of the
Mm,
things. No, no. Inside that, where is not
mm.
required. Yeah, group by only required.
Where is required actually? You are joining the two tables, no?
Mm-hmm.
If you join the where, then there will be duplicates, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cartesian. Mm. Okay, okay, fine. You are like 70% correct, but the main thing, the where clause is required. First, in the first question also you missed it. Here also you're missing, but group by you said that is fine. Okay, actually you're supposed to join both the tables, right? Even if you don't have criteria, we are supposed to join both the department IDs. Otherwise, it would be like Cartesian product,
Correct.
where E dot department ID equal to D dot department ID. That should be there, or otherwise the result will not be the proper.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, as assume like I need to generate a report in XLS. Assume an Excel sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So the first column I'll be having the department ID. So the first column department. Suppose I have five departments, no?
Mm-hmm.
That XLS will contain the five department rows. So next column will follow with the all the employee details. So one department, example A department, it may be 500 employees.
Mm-hmm.
So A then followed with all the 500 employee details. Likewise, I need. And again department B again followed with again some other set of employee details. Some 300 employees who or map to department B. Likewise, I need to generate the report. Like I'm pinging you the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So assume that in these are the fields I need to I require in the Excel assume. So the first department ID, no? Department ID A, then
Mm-hmm.
employee ID, employee name, salary. All will be followed. So that three columns alone will come as 500 times. All the 500 employees listed for department A. Then department B, again employee ID, employee name, salary. That would be again will be coming for all the employees. 300 times or 200 times, whatever, how many employees map to that department, that many times it would come.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, I need an XLS report. So, if you are implementing it in Java, so what are the entities you will create? What is the collection you will use? Can you brief me shortly?
Yeah, yeah, so if I want to use through the Java, first of all, we will create a DTO classes. So the DTO classes will have all the attribute, like what are the attribute columns is defined in the database that we have to define in that, and the classes will be annotated with like classes will be have a attribute there, will have a tables will be defined, what type of tables will be there and what will be the id, unique id and primary key that will be defined. If you mention as a mongo, then we have a collection there, and also we'll create a repository, so that repository will communicate from the service layer. So the layer will have a like controller to service, service to repository. So that repository will call the DTO classes. So that DTO classes will have a respective database column field will be there. So that will call, and in that we'll know like tables name and unique primary key and all will be defined, not null and all.
Right. So, how many DTOs you will create in this case?
If we have a two tables like a department and employee, in that cases we'll have a two DTOs. One is employee DTOs, another is a department DTOs.
Right. Okay. So, what collection you will store? We have various collections, right?
Yeah,
What are the collections you generally used in Java? Can you name? And in this case, what collection you will use to
mostly
store?
we will use here list. So in collections we have a list, set and map. So
Right. Mm.
list set mostly I use if suppose if you don't want a duplicate data in the Excel and particular all
Mm.
the unique data if you want, then in that cases we will go for the set collection, and if you want all the datas which will be have a duplicate and all like totals data and all, that cases will go for the list.
Mm.
So that list have a array list, linked list and vector. So depends on the requirement, we'll go for the array list or linked list. So and set also will
Right.
have a requirement.
Right. Here, list of what exactly? We have two DTOs, right?
Yes,
So you said you will be storing as a list. So
correct.
that list will contain what exactly? List of
List of
what
that.
exactly? Whether list of department or list of
So yeah,
DTO,
so
right? So I
yeah.
need these kind of department ID, employee name, and salary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here department ID will be occurring only once. It will be unique always. Employee ID, employee name, and salary will be repeatable and it will be mapped to that unique element, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, you generally said list. That is half answer,
Mm-hmm.
but with the list we cannot achieve this, right? We are supposed to use list definitely. So that list will be containing what DTO,
Mm-hmm.
and that array list will be again stored in some should be stored in again some other collection, right? Or otherwise, how will you maintain the department ID as uniqueness?
Yeah. So yeah, so for the both we will store so like a list of the department IDs, and based on this employee name, ID and salary that we will collect, and after that we will process through the list inside the list.
List inside the list is really required. I don't think so because we okay. Um, okay, fine. In the employee ID, employee name, salary I have,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah,
employee name I want, right? For each and every department, employee name should be sorted. Assume like that. So if that is the case, how will you implement?
yeah, yeah.
So department A have,
Or else what I'll do, while we use a repository file, like a repository, there will have a
mm,
operations, database operations. So while
mm-hmm,
communicating with service layer to repository layer, in that cases we will mention the query, so that query parameters will be there. So like a find by or get, or if you file use JPA, there will have a find, get, fetch details, delete and all. So through that we will mention
right.
the these things.
But anyway, here there is no criteria. It's only structure. I want all the records. So we no need to
Mm-hmm.
use any find by and all. It's find all actually.
Yeah.
So, but I was expecting you to answer that exact collection, but you didn't answer. That is fine. Keep it aside. But I want this employee name to be sorted with respect to each and every department. So that sort, how will you do? Use it fine by.
Collection
Here I
sort we
need
will use,
sorting.
like a comparable and
Mm,
comparator is there.
correct. Yeah, comparable comparator is there.
Yeah, so
So,
if you want a
mm,
customized sort, then we'll have a like a comparable. If you want a natural sort,
mm,
sorry, a comparator, and if you want a natural sort, then we'll go
mm,
for the comparator.
right. But one answer alone, I am not happy. Use a list inside a list.
Hmm.
Actually, department ID is just the
No,
hash
not
map,
required here.
na?
List
It's a
inside
unique
list is
key,
not required.
right?
Yeah.
Required. It's a hash map, actually, na?
Yes, yes.
Key and array list. We
Hmm.
are supposed to map the key with the array list. A
Yeah.
comparable. Okay, fine. Okay, coming to front end, Angular, which version you have used?
Angular 9 mostly I used.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what are the components you have used? Data, table, graph. Are you aware of all those things? Graph charts.
Uh, I'm aware, but mostly I'm in backend, mostly backend with
Mm,
a database and AWS cloud. Mostly I'm aware. And
okay.
front end, like suppose if any issues and other things will come, then we need to check like what type of issues is there. So for that we will go for the front end code and debugs, and then check either backend issues or maybe front end issues, and also that type of things we are certified.
Mm-hmm. You worked in jQuery?
uh, jQuery, not it right now, but last uh,
Mm,
2 years back I used.
right. Okay. Okay. Fine. So can you tell me the syntax to get the value of the text box, if you remember? Just the
Which
basic
one?
question, if you remember. To get the value of text box.
Text box, okay.
Mm,
VR text. First we will define in the var variable, like a var,
mm,
inside that input parameter as a text,
mm.
and then var input text.
For okay, normal JavaScript. jQuery keep it aside. Normal JavaScript, you remember to get
uh,
the text value.
yeah, but right now I mean not in practice for this
Right.
UI, this.
Okay. 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 Fine. No problem. You are very much comfortable in debugging and all Java. Like you will
Yeah.
inspect the variable value,
Hmm.
all breakpoints, everything. You are comfortable.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Fine. I'm done with my questions. You have any specific questions to ask?
Like what will be the technology you are hiring? What type of domain?
I'm not into this account which you will be allocated if you get selected. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not aware.
Mm-hmm.
So You need to get in touch with the next level of discussion only,
Mm-hmm.
or you need to touch base with HR only. But I've been asked to talk to you regarding the Java debugging skills.
Mm-hmm.
But Angular and all is a plus, but still, if you are not aware, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you are okay, but still, I'm not that happy
Mm-hmm.
because in between you miss that where condition, that collection, basic hash map and all. But anyway, you managed to answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you are like above average. I'll give the feedback. So
Mm-hmm.
mostly you will get the call. So maybe for the next level of discussion, you can check what the exact
Okay. So how
project
many rounds and
requirements
all
are.
will be there?
Okay. I'm not aware exactly. Mostly
Okay.
it will be technical manager and HR only. It will.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Bye.